Infinity, Kimberly, John, George, George P, and George K, Ed. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Holy moly, it's bright in here. I've been been doing a read through for a little while. Let's see. Put me on the other side. So, what we got on tap today, we have the algos have gotten too long, maybe. We have December seasonality. And we got 30 minutes of requests. So hold off on the requests until we get there. Just give me a second. Give me a couple minutes to run through the market, and then we'll hit the request. Make sure you do one request. Give somebody else an opportunity to go before you hit me again. And looks like we only got about 40 people on the stream so far. Hopefully a few more join. Otherwise, this may be a light 30 minutes. Awesome. So yeah, great being green. It's been a big day, especially if you're long crypto. And hey, that's downtown, man. That's downtown. They got the ice rink going. You not been downtown? So there's, look, the leaves are still green. Come on now. Yeah, this was I think from a prior year, but you got the leaves on the trees and the ice out there in Market Square. This is right in Market Square downtown. They got the ice rink. It runs from like Thanksgiving through Christmas, I guess. And then they take it down. I don't know why it didn't run longer than that. So, yeah. Out there like ice skating in shorts last weekend. Come on, Wrongomer. It's plenty cold for ice skating downtown. Anyway, I mean, look at that dude's in short sleeves right there. Yeah, right through New Year's. Anyway, see, there you go. Trees are yellow. Anyway, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. All right? No stocks, no options, no cryptos, no bonds, no forex, no futures. Don't buy them, don't sell them. Don't buy stuff from gurus that you don't trust. And if you desire personal financial advice, that's not me. I'm not giving you financial advice. Sorry. You got to hire and consult a financial advisor that has fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your financial situation. So, how about that quadruple X? What quadruple X? TLT, Remember, Hannah, wait for it. Don't just throw out a request yet. Wait for it. We got to get there. Give me just a minute. Let me go through a few things, and then we'll take requests. So, give me just a minute. We're going to go through a couple things. First off, talked about that this morning, was that the algos are crazy long. This is Goldman Sachs Bank Trading Desk estimate right here for the time period from current, right here at the beginning of December, through January 4th. And the black case here, the red case, and the blue case. So blue is flat market. Black is up 1 standard deviation. Red is up 2 standard deviations. All three of those lines, the black, the blue, the red, right there, just kind of flat. Red being slightly down. So if the market's up 2 standard deviations, and my little bar keeps flipping up, if the market's up 2 standard deviations, we get a pullback slightly in the exposure to the market from CTAs, which is computerized trading algorithms, not anything else. All right. So these are algos. And if we get a 1 down standard deviation, we're going to go flat potentially. And if we get a 2 down standard deviation, a nice pullback, these things could unload $50 billion worth of securities. And if we look at what happened right here in October, where they went long and then, well, they started coming off of their epic $70 billion short, not really going long, just going flat, and then went short again. We compare that back over here to the S&P. In October, we see the October rallied and then went epically lower. So keep it in mind. All right, keep it in mind that the algos can kind of push this thing around a little bit. All right. How do they know that? They pay people. They pay very, very smart people a lot of money to keep up with the algo trading. And each trading desk has them. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, all the major banks that do trading. Bank of America's quants seem to be the best at this, but I can't find the current Bank of America. I've been looking for it. I have not run across the Bank of America CTA estimate. So, but this one's usually fairly okay, fairly accurate. So right there's the estimates on, they estimate how the algos are going to react if we get certain market conditions. And this is this is part of a much bigger report on all different things, different aspects of what's happening in the market. Just one little piece. But I think it's an important piece when you look at how much of the volume is pushed by algorithms, upwards of 80%. So, computerized trading algorithms have been around for a long time, way before AI. And most of this stuff isn't even AI. They're just simple strategies that, and they fight each other. You can watch it. If you really jump down in the time frames on the tick charts, you can watch these things fight each other. They'll trigger. They know how to trigger each other to start buying or start selling, and they'll start triggering, and then they'll rip each other. They'll try to rip each other. So it's funny to watch. I've been watching it for years. Somebody taught me how to see it way back in 2012. So you got to watch small price action, like less than 1 minute charts a lot of times. So anyway, there you go. That's the positioning. And we may see some selling occur no matter what the market does. All right. May see some selling. Oh, wrong slide right there. And try to find my seasonality charts here. Pull those over. So seasonality in this is 20-year average right here. 20 time frame is 20-year average. Going back, whatever that says. Looks a little blurry to me right now. So we're in this December time frame. This is VIX right here. We usually see a little VIX pop. First December, we usually see a little chop. We haven't got that so far. Then we see a drop, and then we see a little pop heading into the end of the year. But then we see a drop pretty substantially into the new year. So that's what we got coming up in December into January. Now, looking at the Russell, we usually see a little pullback and a pop. For a little bit of euphoria the first week or so. We kind of saw that already. Do we get a pullback to lower than when we started the month? We may very well do that, and then we can get a pop. That's also 20-year average right there for the Russell going through December of last year. I can read that date. Nasdaq, we usually see a little bit of chop. We pull back. We're getting a little pullback. We haven't really gotten a higher high yet. And then we ramp toward the end of the month. Then also S&P, usually see a little bit of chop and then a rally into the end of the year. So seasonality says we could experience a little bit of chop. Is it a little bit of chop or a lot of bit of chop? That's the question, right? Last year, if we fly back in our time machine here, in the time machine, right there, we bounced right off the trend line, pulled back. This time we're above this trend line. Do we pull back above the trend line before we get the next run? I don't know. May very well do it. We had ES come in a little light today. Little light. And NQ getting a little pop. So mixed results today. Mixed results. We saw ES just kind of pulling back a little bit. It was more red this morning. And as the day went on, we turned slightly kind of neutral to, actually showing a little bit of green right now, even though it's still showing red on the day. The market, this is actually just playing in the delay time because the market's actually closed right now for ES. Closed from 5 to 6. It'll reopen at 6 as we get to the end of the show. And NQ got a little bit of green, but it wasn't making that high like we saw right here on ES. Go, chart, go. There we go. ES, we saw that high right there 2 days ago. NQ, 2 days ago, not a higher high. The high was way back over here. So, question. What are we doing? Russell, ooh, there's that pullback. Getting slammed down a little bit. Might see some more slam down a bit. And if you're unfamiliar with ES, NQ and RTY, that's SPX, S&P 500. NQ is Nasdaq, NDX, QQQ, and RTY is Russell, IWM, right there. So we may see small caps pull them on back. Oil, Earl, continuing to show some weakness. Right down, kind of closing below the lows. So we may see that one drop on down into the 70 area right there. Right around the 70 area, that's the next layer of support below us. And moving on down the road. I usually hit gasoline. which is just churning here at the bottom. Not really pushing the lows, not really breaking out, not really doing anything. Kind of become uninteresting. Way below the roadmap line, hanging out right there on that 1618. If we push lower, we could push on down to $1.96. Wholesale prices on gasoline. So we rejected that 230 level, 227 level pretty hard. Pushed right down into 209. And we could see this push on down. I actually paid $2.54 for gas last Thursday, I think it was, here in Knoxville. So not too bad. I mean, there's like almost $1 worth of taxes built up in most states. So that's not too bad, not too shabby. Now, interestingly, diesel rejected the roadmap line, pushing lower. This is interesting right here. Came right to the 1272, the 1618, 255. I'm sure Rungamer loved that. Keep on pushing lower, right? Let's return back to the lows we saw back here. We could see a deeper retrace. Starting to push down through the 618 level. The 786 coming up at 243. So we could very well see this drop on down to this zone right around that 240 area. So, yeah. Could see it drop on down. Look, that consolidation level right there. Lines right up. May see it drop in that area. All right, natural gas. Continuing to be weak. Weak. Let's be honest. If it doesn't find support right there, it's probably going to the bottom of the box. We're going to come back, probably retest this where we hit the lows for July, for August, for August again, for September, and find that final attempt at pushing down in late September before we popped up. And we're right back near there. So we're probably going to retest that level. It's like a box inside a box. Probably going to retest it. It's not far away. 250. We get below that 250 area, very well could come back to $2. All right. What's the exclamation on what tickers? These right here, ES. If you want the futures, ES1 exclamation point right there. You gotta type it in, ES1 exclamation point. That's to get futures. These are S&P 500 futures. ES1, NQ1, RTY1. Now, if you're on a different platform, a lot of platforms are //ES/NQ. Trading View, this is how it works. ES1 exclamation point. So, yeah, this is gasoline, RB1 exclamation point. Heating oil is diesel fuel, HO1 exclamation point. Natural gas, NG1 exclamation point. Gold, GC1 exclamation point. And we rejected that 1272. Looks like we may be on a path back to the roadmap line for gold. So watch out. Probably going to get some downside on gold. Looks like we're kind of confirming that rejection yesterday. And watch out below. We hit the target. Now we got to do the retrace. We could hold the prior support zone right here. We could. So be careful. Silver, SI1 exclamation point. Silver futures. This one right here is just chopping sideways. Sideways choppy mess like we talked about this morning. We keep failing to get any kind of breakout run going. So that one's telling us that we're just in a sideways choppy mess. Broke out of the little wedge thing to the bottom and to the top. So that really wasn't in play. That's what it's telling us. And when we clean it up, let's just clean it all up, right? Remove all the drawings. Just right click remove. And we're just in a big sideways choppy box. Look at that. Simple as that. rejected the breakout, probably coming back. All within the range we set in March to April, similar to natural gas. And look, we zoom it out even more. It's the range we've been playing in for a long time. A little bit out the top, a little bit out the bottom. We've kind of been in this range for a while. So silver, not exactly the most interesting. Copper, on the other hand, respecting the downtrend. Tried to break, rejected. Kind of expect a lower low. Am I saying that it's going to? No, it doesn't have to. I just expect it, especially if we get back below this 365 area. Get below that, watch out below. Probably come down to there. Now, the big picture, that was corrective, and this looks corrective-y, overlapping, and would look best with a lower low that was lower than that point right back there. All right. And I don't give any credit to the commitment of traders for anything. It's all in the past and all lies. So lumber right here. This is kind of a watermelon seed squeeze situation. Shaping up here. We'll see what happens as we move forward here. CUS1. CME housing. You have to look at that on a weekly chart. Look at that. Right back up to the top. Probably going to pop at 343. Talked about that months ago. Housing still ramping higher. Pretty beautiful. Now, big story of the day. Bitcoin making 44,000. Pachow. Looky, looky. That retrace. Look, we're coming right up to the 618 level. Right where we topped out. Back here in April 2022. Right up to the same levels. Dun, 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 dun. We're getting close. Definitely getting close. I'm going to put it on this chart. Grab the Coinbase data. Clean chart. It's right here. Coming up to that 618 level. There may be resistance at this area right here. Thinking 46 to 50. We could, entirely possible, we pop it to a new high. Possible, probable, no, not so probable, but possible. We break on through and rally right up to 81,000, then pull back and go even higher. Possible. Does it seem very likely at the moment? No, it seems like we might pull back, retest the roadmap line before we can break on out. So be careful, all right? Ethereum, let's look at this. I mean, might as well jump to high time frames on this because that's where we're at with these big time frames. All right, we did these retraces. Now that's a nested move, pull back, move, pull back, move. Probably pull back again before we get the bigger move. So this one has potential to go way on up. The short term, we hit my target at 23 today. On that pullback, my little 1272, 23. Probably get a pullback, probably get an extension to 25. But we did the thing that I've been saying we were going to do for a long time. I actually sold my extra Ethereum at 2,300. Got the fill. Cleared off. Sitting and waiting for the next setup. It was beautiful. Beautiful. All right. There you go. Even Doge. Look at this. Working on breaking out of that downtrend. Solana. Look at that one. Strong. Looking like it could go on another extension. Does have this consolidation zone up here. right there. Getting close. Even this one, I bought some STX. Look at that. Potential breaking out right here. Move up, retrace. Next potential move could be up here in the $2.50 to $4 area. Actually, probably jump off around this $1.80 to $2 area. Be conservative. So there you go. There's some crypto picks. All right. Somebody asked me about coin in Discord if I'd hit it, just in case they couldn't make it to the stream. So look, I covered it this morning. We are right up at the target. Look, run high to low right there. Sitting right at the 1618, 139. You can't really expect more right now. That was a big, powerful move. Right up off of there. Do expect a retrace at this point. Now, bigger picture, all these nested moves, yeah, we could go on up 165, possibly 200. I don't know if we get that extension before we get a pullback. So be careful. Be careful, be careful. Like, this is getting a little bit, I mean, you can see we went a little bit overexcited, kind of ran out of steam, and then pulled back hard. Got a little overexcited, starting to run out of steam. We could get another leg up, but watch out for the pullback. Every time we go kind of exponential, we tend to pull back. Even over here, look, we got a little overexcited, came right back, even went lower. I don't think we're going lower right now, but we can definitely pull back, especially with Bitcoin hitting 44,000. I mean, I've been saying that the FOMO would likely kick in about 40. I think adding 4,000 to it in a couple days, I mean, that's some FOMO, all right? That's just no two ways about it to me. Like that, look at that baby go. I mean, have we seen it before? Yeah, we saw it before. I mean, then we consolidate, then we get a little extra, then a little extra again, then we correct. I mean, even rolling back to the prior halving event right here before the last halving, we went on a run before the last. Like, this was the prior halving event right over here. Look, we did some big up moves, and then we did a big down move right before the halving. And we ran up, we chopped through the halving. We kind of chopped everything. Everybody got really bummed out about it, and then we sparked a giant move that went on an epic run. And then it was like, holy cow, I'm a genius for going long. And then the lights came on, the party kind of died down for a little while. Then we got excited again. We made a higher high. Then we went into crypto winter and lost a lot of value. We're likely to see the same story play out again. That was 77% gone. So we're likely to see 10 to 20x the bottom right here. Yeah, that's $155,000 to possibly $300,000 a coin for Bitcoin. You may say it's impossible. We'll see what happens. But I think it's highly likely. We've seen it 3 times, like clockwork, in the past. Not a single reason why we won't see it rally again. That would put it right up in this zone. Then, likely 2026-ish, 2027, another crypto winter where we lose 70% of the value once again. Right back into this 50 to 60,000 area. There you go. That's the path on crypto. That's the path on Bitcoin. That's what you can expect for the next couple of years. All right. MSTR is not a miner, so don't get it confused. MSTR just holds Bitcoin. They're not a crypto miner. They don't do any mining whatsoever. They're just an investor in Bitcoin. They just hold this. I think it's the second largest holding of Bitcoin. And they just keep buying it. And we came up, actually, if it's on the non-log scale, we tagged the 618 target today. We actually came up right in the vicinity yesterday. I booked my profit, And on the log scale, we may actually get the log scale target. Significant differences between them. Stuff that's moving more than $50, I tend to go with the log scale, but we tagged the non-log. So, all right, if you want to make a request, 1 ticker per person, please. You can let somebody else give somebody else a chance to go before you throw another ticker in the chat. I will cover as many as I can. So, roll up and hit a few that I see. Like cost. Yeah, that's working on through. And breaking out. Upside 666. 660 area up there. That was nasty, gnarly. Watermelon seed squeeze could put us up to 737. 730 area. Be conservative, 660. All right. Next one, VLO. Is just chopping on the roadmap line. Not doing anything super interesting. Just parked in a sideways consolidation. This thing being a little slow. Look at that. Just sideways for more than a year now. Year and a half. Not so interesting. All right. And let's see. Looking for another ticker. Did MSTR SY. I did SYM this morning. I mean, what do you want to know? It was the chart of the week last week. Nothing's changed. It's still. This is not like you need to update every day. Like, it's 70% likely to go up to 73. I am long shares. There's nothing different. No change. There's not going to be a change unless we break down below this level or we hit the target. Not likely to be any change at all. Now, if it goes down here and starts messing around and just goes sideways and is dead, then that's a bummer. Come back down here and go sideways. Do that. That'd be a bummer. But it doesn't really change the expectations that we're going up there at this point. Now, if we do break below here, then the pattern's wrecked. So, and if you didn't see the chart of the pattern or chart of the week, it's in Discord in the channel called aptly named Chart of the Week, and I posted it on X, platform formerly known as Twitter, and we SMS'd it out. I guess it's a blog post somewhere, maybe, possibly. I don't know about that stuff because I don't write them. So there you go. There's SYM. Google is sideways. That's a lower high. That's a higher low. Meh. Not great. Not great. Let me just clear everything. Remove all the drawings. There we go. Zoom it out. We've got the prior highs to deal with. Hanging over us. That's a retrace. If we hold the roadmap line, we could pop it. Just not my favorite right now. We need to get something going. Retracing, holding higher low with a low off a lower high. Not my favorite pattern. It's no high probability anything right there. It's just unclear. Other stuff to trade. Better setups. FNV. Don't force yourself into having to trade something. Like, that's the most limiting thing you can do. Like, I have to trade Google. Well, now you're limited. You have to trade Google. So you got to figure out what Google's doing. But if you look at Google and it's not doing anything, then move on. FNV, just going sideways, pushing back out. It does have that little dip right there. We get below that, we're probably going lower. Tesla. pretty clear. It's a, let's just go to the clean chart. I got a lot of stuff drawn on that other chart. Look, it's as simple as this. It's what I said last week. It's what I've said almost every morning. We rejected that breakout. That downtrend is, as long as we're below it, we're going down. If we break above it, we can change the opinion. Right now, as long as we're below the roadmap line, well, we're above the roadmap line, excuse me. As long as we're below the downtrend line of highs and above the roadmap line, we're just going sideways. All right, we got support at the roadmap line. We've got the road is running out. The roadmap line is flat. That means there's no expectation to do anything. It quit trending effectively. There's, it's no longer trending. It's just sideways chop in a tightening zone. It can just hang out right here at 240 through the end of the year. We could be up a little bit. We could be down a little bit. We could try to break out. We could try to break down. We could just do nothing all the way through January. Now, if we get a bigger market correction, this one's likely to go down. I do kind of feel like as long as we're below that downtrend line, that high from July, that high in September, that high, lower high in October, that lower high from just last week in November, we're below them all and still going down. That was a lower low. That was a lower low. We just came up off the lowest low that we've had since July. What makes you think we're going higher? Nothing says that chart's bullish, but you can think otherwise. It's fine. That's what makes a market. S-Bucks. S-Bucks. Let's pull it up on this chart where I have everything saved. Save it again, save it again, save it again. That's rejection. Look, sideways. Sideways garbage. Probably going lower. Rejected the 618. Popped up, 618, probably going lower. Not much to say. Hey, there's Goose. Hey, Goose. Did you get your flying done? AT&T. Heard they were having a good day. Yep. But, I mean, boring old AT&T goes nowhere. Look, 13 is the low, 19 is the high, $6 range. Do you want to hold something that only has a potential to move $6? The option premium is probably abysmal. Like, there's better stuff to mess with. Even T-Mobile, supposedly rocking it out today. I mean, look, that moved more. That moved more in a couple days than AT&T's moved in forever. T-Mobile, 162, 172. If we can actually break out. Snap. I joke about this one. I don't know anybody that uses Snapchat. But look at the chart. Higher high. Be careful though. An uptrend of the highs. We got that big gap. Big gap down. We may come up there and touch it and retrace. I don't see huge upside opportunity. That's just kind of like an expanding wedge. Keeps coming back to lows, keeps coming back to lows, keeps coming back to lows after making a slightly higher high. We coming back down, or are we going to actually break out? We'll see. Plug. Just not getting me excited on that one. Yeah, some of the stuff get me excited, like Mara, Riot, BTBT, all those kind of hitting upside today. Beautiful. Plug, just churning on the downside. Can we go lower? You betcha. Look at that. They lose tons of money. Tons of money. Look, this is not good. when you're growing your revenue, but your net income is growing further down at the same, like you want your net income to be like coming along for the ride, not getting worse. It's like what we lose, we're going to make up for in volume. Yeah. If you lose a little bit on a little bit, and then you're losing a lot of it on a lot of it, you're making up, you're making your losses even bigger by trying to push more revenue. That's not a sustainable business practice right there. And if they don't have a turnaround plan, they're not going to last. I mean, they're competing with Tesla, basically. Looks pretty bad. Anyway, Cracker Barrel, CBRL. This is a long-term play right here. CBRL. Get the ticker, get the right letters in the right order. Long-term play, bounced off the roadmap line. I'm short, waiting for this potential. Oh, look, there it all is. It filled out. Just took it a minute to load. And we could be in for that. Why that? Well, when we pop up and look at the earnings and the financials, historically, they've hung out at a price to sales ratio of 1. Currently, their price to sales ratio is 0.48. To get to a price to sales ratio of 1, they're going to have to drop about 50%. 50% drop puts us at 35. Now, does it have to do it? Shoot, no. We can just hit 57. Could it do it? Heck yeah. So, this is not like a day trade. This is not like a 3-day swing trade. This is like I bought some calls out next year. Or puts, bought some puts out next year. I'm just going to sit and wait. Smile and wave. I may lose the entire bit. CLSK. Nice pop. And we may be done. That's the 1618 today. Rejecting off of it. Watch out for a retrace at this point. Could we extend it? Sure. 12, 14. But after that move, highly likely to come back into that zone. If not, revisit the roadmap line. And TSM. Taiwan Semi. Looks like it's going to. We bounced off the roadmap line, broke through, probably retest that breakout level. If we break down, watch out below. If we break up, we bounce. Probably come up to 116. It's that simple. Probably do this, or we're going to do that. Maybe down to that. So 116 or 79. We'll see what happens. Kind of a coin flip. Coming down to there. Coming down to test that area. Probably pretty likely. SPY already covered. CCL. SPY, all you got to do, rewind, listen to what I said about ES, and knock a 0 off the end. Just move the decimal. CCL. Came down. If you don't know how to rewind, just pull the bar at the bottom of the screen, right down here. Just pull it, back in time. CCL, nice potential. Nice potential. Probably didn't need to draw another line. There we go. Everything taking so long to load. Now, we're at the 618. If we turn down, we're coming down here. If we break above, and unfortunately, we got to break above that consolidation right there at 18 to get to 21, 24. So that's what we got. Got a little resistance zone here. cooked up. Not feeling that one as strongly for going higher immediately. Why? Because this was some garbly gook over here. Very overlappy. Not trending. At best counts correctively. And this could result in a deeper retrace. Very overlappy. Not conducive for higher prices at this point. All right. ZN1. Fingers. ZN1 exclamation point. Stuck in the roadmap line. Prior high. Right there. Got a little zone. Work through. So nothing proved at this point. Do we break through, then retrace, then do we go up, or do we break on through and go for an extension lower? I don't know. Nothing clear at the moment. Anybody tells you that's clear, crystal clear, I tell you they're full of crap. We have significant resistance we're coming up into. We have to break above it to go higher, and there's lots of levels above it. There's huge consolidation right there. Look, we spent from May through July, kind of like in that zone. We plenty of supply, and we may come up to there. We may rally right on up in there and come back. I don't think anything's clear on that yet. Nothing at all. Netflix got up to, wow, what, 480? Yeah, got up to 480 prior high and rejected. Not exactly my favorite. Still long one share off of bought it at 400. That move up looks like we're going to retrace probably back down to this zone, maybe around 430 before we can get the next leg up. Probably come on down here. If we hold that, we'll come up here. If we don't hold that, roadmap line. If we don't hold that, back to the lows. Man, I keep hitting the button and it keeps rolling all the way down the bottom. EOG. Sideways garbage. Choppy garbage sideways. No trend, no nothing. Could it possibly be a bounce? Yeah, but that's not really a trend. I don't really like to try to apply the market roadmap when it's sideways. I mean, we're within the same range we've been in for a while. Back here in 2022 in June. So like a year and a half, going nowhere. AXSM. Ugh. Biotech. Ugh. Downtrend. Biotechs don't follow my patterns, so probably not a lot I can tell you. Mara looking pretty sweet, breaking above resistance. Got above the level I've been talking about, gapped up even, poking above that resistance. Looks like we're 70% likely to get a move on up into this 23, possibly 27 area. Possibly complete the head and shoulders from all the way back here last year. All possible. Beautiful upside. Right. Looking even a little stronger potentially. More significantly above resistance. So we did retrace a little bit into the close, but Could be on a path for much higher targets. Now the intermediate target, let's be more conservative here. Not like, don't get pie in the sky eyes on me. 23.27 before the next pullback. Alrighty. IONQ. 546. IONQ. And that's kind of an uptrend. Right there, a little bit of uptrend, pull back, sitting right on top of the roadmap line. If we pop above this 1686, 17 area, that kind of makes us 70% likely to go get 27, maybe 36, like 40% likely, 36. But if we hang out below that, we could get lower low. Simple as that. KO. Quietly working on getting his crap together here. I mean, look, it's in a giant, like, we've done this crazy dip twice. This one was the lower low. I mean, it's kind of a big sideways mess, hot mess. And 51 the low, 64 the high. I mean, 13 points. Do you want to chase something like this for 13 points? I mean, come on. Something like, if you want to tie up your money for a while, look at something like this. SWBI right here. Let's look at this. Check this out. Look at this pattern. We've moved up. We retraced. Bounced off of this level here. Potentially breaking out. If we just echo that move up right there, talking about 64, 71, that from 14. Yeah, there's big upside opportunity. You want to tie up your money for a while. Chase something that's actually got potential to move. Then if it really got moving, talking like 270. I mean, whoa, baby. 700? Yeah, crazy numbers. So I got a few thousand shares of this just sitting. You want to tie up money for a while? Put it in something that's, potentially a big mover. Don't put it in something like KO. I mean, it's not advice. I'm just saying. You got to make your decisions. I would rather sit parking in something like this than something that's just chopping in a 14-point range for years. And that kind of looks like it might roll over and go lower. PFGC. I got opinions, but I'm not telling you what to do. If it was my money, I'm not parking in something. Performance Group, they compete with Cisco, right? The other Cisco, Gordon Foods and U.S. Foods. I believe that's right. Off that big correction, 1272. Could get to 73. Again, how big an upside opportunity you got? That's some volatile stuff just chopping. Trying to remember. There it is. Cisco, right? That's not the right one. Where is it? SYY. Oh, look at that one. Ouch. That's not doing so good. U.S. Foods in here. I don't remember the U.S. Foods one. Yeah, U.S. Food Holding. USFD. Yeah, that one. Now look, out of the three, that's the better looking chart. Look at that. Potentially 46. I mean, that's only $2, but it's the better looking chart out of the three of those. And it's going to be targets. Be careful. Reject it off. Yeah. Kind of rejecting that area a little bit. Tighten that. Tighten it up. Tighten up. And we're right at the target there. Rejecting. I kind of speculated before several times at this point. I can see because all the lines I drew. We either churned sideways, which we retraced a bit. We didn't quite get back to the breakout level. So classically, we would pop up to the 1272, retrace back to the 100, and then reach for the 1618 if that's what we're going to do. Second alternative, turn sideways just below the 1272, then pop the 1618. Third alternative is that we don't hold the breakout level and we just break down and do a deeper retrace, possibly filling that gap. There's your paths. Do I expect more upside out of Roku right now? It's low probability. The high probability trade was when we broke above right here, looking for that move up here. So unfortunately, that one's kind of played out for now. It's like spot. You know, JT, are you still on spot? No, I booked the profit. Like that was the trade. That was the end of the trade. There's no more trade. It doesn't have to pull back. It doesn't have to go higher. It doesn't have to do anything. It didn't have to get to the target, but it did. So the trade's done. Like, what do I expect now? I don't know. I don't care. I'll wait for the next setup. I was chasing that one for months. All summer, really. It was a beautiful play. Made thousands of dollars, literally. So, wait for the setups. TMCSA. Not even sure what that is. Goose. Oh, Comcast. I thought, for some reason, I thought the different set of letters. Comcast. Yeah. Sitting on the roadmap, that's not overly exciting. Move up, retrace, move up, retrace. Not moving up again yet. Gonna have to break above 45. If it does, we can see 49, 53, but other than that, could go lower. STX. And finally, that was moving. Right up near the target's probably going to get a retrace. Head and shoulder break, holding head and shoulder pattern breakout. Like that was the big kind of like the shoulder goes way up here. Moving the wrong freaking thing. Come on, there we go. That one's obviously moved around a few times. Head to the neck. Head to the neck. Could put it up in this area. That'd be lofty. But not too crazy. I mean, it was just up there in December 21. Probably get a little retrace and pop it up in there. MCD. Man, that's a nice rally right back. Watch out. This right here makes me very concerned that we're going to get a third leg. Look, one big deep, one big rip right back up. That, yeah, let's just clear all those drawings. Save. There we go. Like this big deep, this big retrace. Oh, now we've done that before. So is that just McDonald's being McDonald's? Big rip, big pop, big rip, big we pop a little higher. I don't know. It's not really any pattern I follow, so it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit a pattern, but they announced some new store concepts and people kind of liked it. If you haven't seen them, yeah, you should go look at them. Google that. It's kind of weird. They don't even talk about it on here. And guess what? GLP-1 drugs didn't put them out of business, and they're still making money. So, $6 billion. And still, they're hanging out. Like, they'll just keep grinding higher, right around an 8 price to sales. 8, 8, 8. They got room to go up and still hang on to not be higher than what they had back here in 2021. I like price to sales over price to earnings because you can fake earnings. You can't fake sales. All right, TLT. Back up to the roadmap line and that consolidation and where we bottomed out a couple times. So if we can clear this zone, could tilt the odds to go the other way. Probably get a retrace up in this zone. Retrace, this was the trend. We kind of hit the target. Now I expect some sort of retrace in here at some point. Let's just remove the drawings, save this, save the day. So we've got resistance in this big consolidation zone right there. You can say you don't agree with me. That's fine. We bounced off of it, broke through it, came up, rejected, 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 broke down, gonna come back up. That's going to be resistance, more than likely, somewhere in that zone between 97 and 106. And it would not surprise me one bit to come up near the top of that and get a retrace. All right. All right. And the Goog. Surprised nobody asked for Apple. I'm pretty sure I covered Google somewhere already. That's a lower high. Come back to the roadmap line. AAPL. That's a lower high, but we could pop it. That's become 70% likely we're getting the extension. Load chart load. I know you got more drawings. There we go. 70% likely we're going to 206, possibly up to 216. That was the extension. After we rejected the 1272, could come up in this zone. I'm long like 3 shares, something like that. BA. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Still hovering in the zone. We're still right in that cautionary zone. And the market's back open. Cautionary zone. Do we roll? Do we pop? If we can clear this zone and not look back, probably going on up to 262. Nothing changed. A lot of these don't change week to week. They're just big time frame patterns. Doc U, resistance at the roadmap line. We've been here before and before and before. Each time has resulted in a lower low. Is this time any different? I can't tell you till we have to break above that. Otherwise, we reject that. Probably going lower. Shop. Took it long enough. Golly. It bounced down, popped up through. $78's the upside target. And maybe 87 above that, but I'd expect a retrace back in this zone right here after popping that 78 area. It must be all those new people they got off the Black Friday sale on TradingView. BKKT. We can break that high. Game on for going higher. This is a crypto related stock. Lots of upside resistance. As you can see, got layers of rejection, layers of rejection, layers of rejection. I mean, there's no reason to be bullish this stock. I do hold like 1,000 shares from $1.60. I think $1.61 is where I filled. $1.60, $1.61. And I'm just sitting on it because the potential to pop and be crazy is high. I'd probably unload if we popped up into this area. You can see my alerts all over the place here. Got one at 240, one at 3, one at 4, one at 8. If we popped higher than 8, I'd probably make a lot of money. But not really expecting much more than 4 or 5 on something crazy happening. And engage in the intersection of crypto assets, loyalty, and rewards and payments. And it's a bunch of gobbledygook. I mean, let's be honest. All right. What they do is unclear if you have a description that just uses a bunch of buzzwords. So, is it a gamble? Yeah, it's pretty much spinning the roulette wheel. But it's at a low price with a high opportunity. You know, this is like, I bought 1,000 shares at $1.60. So, got like $1,600 on it to potentially go up to like, 4x my money. Compare that to something like KO. You buy some shares there. How big is your upside? Buy 1,000 shares at 60 or 58. Maybe you get up to, 63. Maybe you don't. Maybe it goes back down. So I could lose all my money, but $1,600 on this one would not go very far. PG. That looks like sideways garbage. Look at that choppy that is. Almost looks like Coke. Not going anywhere. It's not gonna go anywhere. There's the top. Rejecting already. Already. A, B, and B. Yeah, Wrongimer, I could have brought in your son and just like let him pull up these and he's like, this going to zero. Yeah, last night, Wrongimer's son was like, Apple, Google, Microsoft, whatever, it's all going to zero. Just sell it all. It was pretty hilarious. I was like, I need to have you on my live stream. He was full of it. Anyway, Airbnb possibly working on a reversal here. It's going to have to get higher than 152 to indicate we're going higher, but be careful. There's some resistance right around 139 and 152. I don't know. Not looking great. I mean, it's kind of sideways even. Like the trend is kind of flattening out. The roadmap line kind of turning down a little bit. Not really sparking my interest anymore. It wrecked the pattern. It it wrecked the awesome pattern it had. And yeah, Baidu getting a retrace has kind of a mini measured bounce inside the measured bounce. Had the big time frame measured bounce. Now it's got a little baby measured bounce that it kind of worked on here. So now if we break above the roadmap line, back above this 130 area, game on for going higher. BK. Sideways garbage. A lot of that going around the night. Be careful. You know what? Banking has a problem. It has a problem. Find it. Let me find the problem. Here we go. Look at this. Unrealized, the red, all right? Unrealized losses on securities held at commercial banks in billions of dollars. Source, FDIC. So it's not like we made this up, all right? They actually told the truth. They set a record, Q3 2023. Almost $700 billion. Look, Q2, Q1. Q1 was when we had the banks blow up. The problem has gotten worse. Do I think banks are a smart place to play? No. This thing has not resolved. We have an FOMC meeting next week. If they raise rates stupidly, watch out. If they cut rates, that means something bad's happening. All right, that's a big red flag. Like, I don't care what mainstream media says. Oh, cutting rates is good for the market, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, good for the market like 2 years from now. It takes 2 years for an interest rate action to trickle through the market. All right, we're not even 2 years from the first rate raise, and they're already potentially going to cut one, or, gosh forbid, they raise it again. It's just going to exacerbate the problem. This problem right here is from the fact that the Fed told everybody to hold treasuries, right? So they put X percent of their money in treasuries. Then they raise rates at the fastest rate they've ever raised them, and all of a sudden those treasuries became illiquid and unsellable, unmarketable, and they became unrealized losses on the books because they can't move the treasuries. They have to hold them to maturity, and they're lower than what they could go to the market rate and get money for. So it's a loss on the books. It's money that's not working for them. It's money they can't leverage. It's frozen money. Illiquid assets that if you try to sell them in the market, they're at loss. It's creating a banking problem. It's still exacerbating the problem. It's still ongoing. Be careful. Still hanging out there. And this is fresh. I mean, I had this like last week. I keep it up right now. It's on the forefront of my mind. Banks, nowhere near a smart place to play. Now, that said, we usually see rotation into financials ahead of earnings. Financials are usually the first thing that reports earnings. As you can see, excuse me. Right there, January 12th, we're going to report earnings. Just like JPM. Golly, slow. Holy moly. Play Jeopardy music. Right there, January 12th. BAC. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Come on. January 12th. So maybe I should load less data. All right. PHP. Bum, 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 bum. We got 75 people. Hopefully I have 75 thumbs up because I hope I have said something that you found beneficial. Even if you didn't agree with what I said, maybe you found it helpful that I went through your stock ticker. PHP just kind of churning. looks like. Please interact with video. It's what helps me grow on YouTube and get out to more people. The more people I help, the more people that support me, the longer I can keep doing this. My family doesn't eat YouTube videos. They eat food that costs money. So you got to watch the ads. That's how I get paid. PHP right there, 49 and 51 on the upside. It looks like we might go there too. Go to there. All right, QTRX. QTRX. Golly, this thing's going slow. Slow. See, that's a classic. Look, uptrend, trending up, retrace to the roadmap line. Reasonable expectation. If we break above, we kind of pop that and rejected. If we can break above this little zone now, right there, break above that, possibly 31, 34. All right. All right, all right. SMH. Rolling over after getting a small extension. Didn't quite make it to the 1272. Might come back to the roadmap line. Might come back to the one. Here's the two levels right here. This level. And wherever the roadmap line hits in. And those actually might end up being the same level. Like it could do that. And come right down in that zone. Right in. Could come in right there. It kind of all comes to the same place. So we'll see what happens. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Could talk about a stock that needs to catch up. Finally moving up. Golly. Do you know these guys hold more crypto, or at least as much crypto as MSTR? Like Bitcoin? They won't tell whether it's customer funds or, fiduciary fund, like they're a fiduciary for one of the ETFs or what. They just tell how much they're holding. And it's pretty big. They admit that they own the wallet that has all this crypto in it, but they won't say what it's for. So that's pretty interesting to me. And that could be a back test of that breakout. Breakout, back test. Where does that leave us? A nice potential move. Could take us up to the 18 area. I'm still holding some shares from like around 20, I think. Maybe it's higher than that. I was selling calls and got caught in this drop over here. I am hopeful that Hood rallies back some. All right. CRM, Salesforce. They're popping it, baby. Right up to the targets. Be careful. I wouldn't expect much more. It's right to the 1618. Next move, retrace. At least fill the gap. Could it break higher? Yeah, it could. Resistance on up at the prior high. Just unlikely. And UCO is basically oil. Oil at this point going to extend lower. UCO at this point going to extend lower. Nothing to talk about. That's a leverage chart. You got to watch the underlying, which is oil. It never fired off any, even the aggressive entry never fired off. So only the super, super aggressive entry. And so if you're being super aggressive, then that's what happens when you're super aggressive. You get caught in something that's maybe not the best setup yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Look like we're going a little lower. Possibly down that $70 area. IoT. I thought I've already covered IoT. Sounds familiar. I don't know. Maybe it was this morning. IoT popped up to the 1272. 1618, 38 above that. And otherwise, retrace the roadmap line. AFRM. And that's going to be targets. lofty targets. And these guys are borderline overhype due to buy now, pay later. Watch for 42 to hold its resistance, that prior high. All right, BITQ. Well, 618 resistance. Right there, breaks above. It can go 12, 14. Run. Sun run, bouncing off the roadmap line. Watch out below. Did it before. Do it again. See what happened last time. That puts us down at 5. That's no bueno. No good right there. Be careful. PLTR. Did we get my 22 target? We're dang close. God dang close. I had 22. Look at it. 22 target. Bounced right off of that. Probably come back to the roadmap line. Maybe drew it on here. Way back here. We pop up here and come right back. We got the higher high, so technically that played out. We may now retrace this sucker. Maybe down to there. Back down to 12. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if we retrace back to 12. Would not surprise me one bit. All right, did affirm. That was 2 requests in a row. All right, let's see. Question. Goose says the question about how this gets unwound. Yeah, that's a big question. Like how do they fix it with the government treasuries and stuff like that? The book, like this unrealized loss on the books. Like how do they fix this? How do they get out of this jam? Just the lending facility keeps getting hit harder and harder, and you know, not getting better yet. We're not coming back up. And look, even in 2008, great financial crisis, they didn't have unrealized losses on their books. They had real losses. They realized the losses. So this is a much bigger problem than what we had before. So, all right. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Like I do appreciate it. All right, we still have 70 people on the stream, and need a phone number to get in Discord. The Discord doesn't require a phone number. Go to discord.com, make an account. I don't require a phone number to get into my server. So the link for the servers and the members area, but you should go to discord.com, make an account first. Save your account through email. Maybe turn on 2-factor authentication. All the smart things. Then come join the server. All right. Yeah, mergers and acquisitions, consolidations. Yeah. I don't know. All right. ASO. Hit a few more, then I'll wrap this baby up. Academy. Lower highs. Be careful out there. That one, not really a trend line unless you just go like this. Meh. It's not really trending. Could be a breakout. That could be the 3-wave. That could be the end. Could be working on a reversal, but we've got that to contend with right here. We got to break above this junk. So that's, at this point, that's all I got till we break up, retrace, and then break above again. That's a downtrend right now. The roadmap line firmly tilting this to a downward bias on the daily chart. So be careful. All right. Did Apple? Yes. And KWEB. I think I skipped Noke. Ew. Nasty. Sideways. No bueno. That's just sideways garbage, man. Don't mess with that stuff. Don't. Why you want to be involved in that? Like, where's the opportunity? What do you see that nobody else sees? If you got something, I mean, that's great, but that chart says it's pretty nasty. Noki. Noki. Oh, that one's going to 0. Ooh. Guess what? $270. I mean, 290, 270. Freak. Going out of business. It's been a lot of pain involved in that stock for a long time. Look. The heyday was back here. Now you're just prolonging the inevitable. It's pretty bad. I don't care what they got. They got a horrible looking stock chart is what they got. Freaking dumpster fire. All right. They could sell everything they got and still go down. Anyway. All right, Baba. Hey. No, that's Bab. Baba. Hey, municipal bonds. Look at that. Bab. Dang. Slow loading. There we go. Yeah, burning it down. That's why you're, what was it, KWEB? That's why that's doing so bad. Baidu holding us up, but Baba burning it down. And if we're honest about it, it's probably going lower low. Probably going lower low. Could go down to 40. The same pattern. A 3-day. This is a 3-day chart. That's what 3D means. And that could take us well into 2024, possibly up to 2025. Could it dip and pop and drop in here? Yeah. Be careful. That's just doesn't look good, folks. Doesn't look good. All right. Lottos for December? What do you mean lottos for December? I mean, what are you looking for, Carson? I don't tell you, like, hey, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, right? Say it all the time. Substantial risk of loss. I said it over here too. Substantial risk of loss. All right. Don't play lotto plays. What do I expect to pop off in December? It already did. my plays for December already worked. I was playing spot. It worked. I booked it. I closed it. It's done. What do I expect to happen right now? Let's talk about one. Let's talk real briefly. Right here. Pop back to the daily chart. And go. I've seen headlines, multiple headlines, that VIX is dead. Are you kidding me? VIX is never dead. I haven't even ever seen headlines that VIX was dead when we were actually dead. Like VIX was actually being actively killed off back here and won't even load back in 2018 when the main trade in the market, like you couldn't lose, was to short VIX. Anytime it popped whatsoever, short VIX. That was the main trade. And then one day, the beast woke up and short VIX funds blew up. Right? And they went into liquidation. Finally, we loaded. Right back over here, 2018. Short VIX was the trade. It was the trade for years. A couple of years. You could just short VIX anytime it popped. We would definitely go lower low every time. Beautiful. And then, oops, it popped. Right, that was from VIX at 9. We're sitting at 12.86. Could we go down to 9? Yeah, could. Entirely possible. Plausible? Probably not. Not without a spike. I mean, even on the way down, we still popped it pretty regularly. This right here, outsized move down, probably going to pop. It's just a matter of time. I'm in February calls, straight on VIX, no derivatives, no VXX, no UVXY, none of that crap. Straight VIX. VIX calls, index, 60/40 tax treatment. I just got a handful right now, just a few. I'll add more if we drop on down. I think sometime by February, we're going to pop. I mean, look. Let's draw it on here. Look, right there. Now, remember this chart I pulled up earlier. Look. 20-year seasonality. Even if we don't do something right here, look at this. Look what happens in March. And that was part of, COVID's in here, so be careful. That's my play moving forward. I'm more about the long term, all right? I'm not so much about day trading. I'm not so much about short-term trades. I tend to plan these suckers out, stock it, hunt my prey. This is the opposite of that. When we do get a VIX pop, when we do, this one's going to drop. Me and a handful of people loaded up on SVXY right down in here. I made like 20 grand just on it breaking higher. That was a beautiful trade. I took the super conservative exit. I mean, this one drops 10. This one drops 15 to 20%. If we get a 15 to 20% pullback on this one, time to load the boat. But don't just buy it because it's dropping. Wait till it bottoms out. Wait till it starts showing signs of bottoming. Buy at least 45 days, maybe 2 months at a time. Now, why am I so confident? It's done it 16 times in a row since COVID. Every time we got a 15% drop, it came right back up. I'm sitting here waiting for this one to drop again. When VIX pops, buying SVXY. I'm buying SVXY. You can make your own choices. I'm not telling you what to do. Buy one. Test it out. Like I said, I made about 20 grand on that last pop. And I haven't really done another big trade. Not that big. Spotify made like a little over 5 grand. It was like 11. No. Coin was 1100%. Coin was another good one. I rode Coin from June. I bought into Coin in June. Sold out this past week. We got in back here at 60. I was in before 60. Bought a 60 call, sold a 60 put. Sold it out right there yesterday or day before yesterday. One of those days right there. 1,100%. Beautiful. You got to wait for the trade. That's how you make the big ones. I take lots of little losses, but these ones pay the bills. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'll be back live in the morning, about 9:15, talking about what's moving for the day. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell with the notifications so you know when I go live. Set your calendar alert, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye for now, everybody.